All right, we got head baseball coach Justin Hill. Coach, we're gearing up. You guys are practicing 6, 7 days now. Just how is the team looking? How receptive is the team to everything you guys are trying to implement? And just talk about that.
Well, it's just been good to be able to get out there. We had some challenging weather on Friday, but the boys did good. We needed to get some guys on rotation to be able to kind of get them in their routine, and we had a good set of inter squads this week. We'll actually go 4 times this week from inter squad standpoint: Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and at some point this spring, we kind of hope to have the whole team out there. We haven't actually had the whole group since we've been back, whether that be somebody that got COVID or is contact traced or whatever it is. It's just been a balancing act of doing those things and getting ready because February 18th is coming. Whether or not certain guys have gotten their pitch counts up doesn't matter, but we've got games to play and. We'll be ready. We'll be ready. And I know I've said this before, but I thoroughly enjoy this team. I do. They are Coach Zaleski calls us like we're the band of misfits in the land of misfit toys. Whether it be guys that have kind of, at some point in their career they were rejected by wherever they were at, or they kind of went through some stuff here, had to have surgeries, different things. I would say this, that it's when you look at the team, it's not how you would construct a team as far as would it be offensively, pitching, any of those kind of things. It's not. I don't think you're going to look up and go, yeah, that's the 3, 4, 5. You can look at and do those things, but it's a bunch of group that it's a bunch of guys that you can really gravitate toward from a personality. They're easy to like. They're fun to watch. They're fun to be around. They have angry outbursts sometimes about things because their want to is so great. Just in totality, just like I said, every single day they're fun to be around, and I'm interested to see, excited to see what it's going to be like when there's somebody in another dugout. But I think it's gonna be good.
It's a lot of the same players of the past two championship runs that y'all have had. And like you said, it's kind of the band of misfit toys like you talked about. Does this team kind of like to be that underdog and like to play with that chip on their shoulder?
Yeah, I mean, the I'm a big fan of watching coaches, and studying them. And Bill Parcells is a guy that I've always really enjoyed watching. And one of the things that he always talked about was, at some point you have to create a crisis. And I've kind of taken that at certain points where the team gets too comfortable. You want to create something that, tries to see how they respond. I haven't really had to create many crises over the past 24 months. I mean, we're kind of living in one in certain things. I kind of allude to that to answer the question because they're so loyal, they're so faithful to each other, to us, to this university, and for a generation of people, for a generation of I mean, I don't want to call them kids, but for a generation of kids, it gets a bad rap about jumping around and those kind of things. I don't think that's the case with them. I think they're incredibly loyal. They work their tail off. Their want to is great. I think they're kind of they're around each other. They're around people that are similar to them. Like they've at some point had to be on their own, but they're around other people that have been through a struggle, and for that's kind of fun. And because I would say I kind of fit in that mold, kind of myself as well.
You guys obviously have been through a lot, but what have they learned through that? Because they've been able to overcome. Last year they overcame a lot, won the championship. They won a championship the year when you had a past full season. So what have they been able to accomplish that you've seen that you can grow with?
Well, the fact that they keep showing up, the fact that that they decided to stay, they decided to keep working, and their attitude has not changed. They keep showing up to work every single day. But just like anything, I mean, it doesn't matter what you get, you're never going to be satisfied. We've, at first, when you get the locker room back, you go, man, I'm just happy. And for a week, I'm content. You get your locker room back, and then, man, well, I'd like the washing machine to work too, so we can wash the clothes. And then, we get that going. Then we want to make sure the manager gets them out of there. So there's so many different things that we're having to reteach. It's not unlike the first couple of years of training people, because I've got a group that has never been in a what I would call a classroom setting for us to be able to teach, because we haven't had a facility to be able to do that. And we actually just now got back and started doing that. So that they've been very resilient as a group, and that's guys who either have been with us the whole time, or they, or this is their first year here. I think it's you got different levels of it within our team. You got guys like Reed Bork, Peyton Harden, Julian Gonzalez. They were here when everything was fixed, and then they went through the tough time, and then they're still here. And then the crazy thing is, you've got guys like Ty Abraham, Bryson Hudgens, Christian Vega, guys that had only spent 5 days here before everything got broken. And so they never, with COVID, they didn't visit. That was the first time they visited campus, and they still came back, and they still had the success. And so you got them, and then you got guys that saw what we've been through and everything, and they said, hey man, I'd like to be a part of that, and when somebody chooses you, and so they want to be a part of what you got, that one kind of keeps your cup full with that. And so it's not where we want it to be. Not that we ever have been. We always want to make sure we're improving, but gets a little bit better every day.
You guys are good. All right.
I have a off the cuff question that Brady got mad at me for not asking.
Okay.
You brought up Parcells, and that made me think.
Sure.
Of it. He wanted to take on Sean Payton.
The guy came. He. It's funny. I heard him speak. I heard him speak soon thereafter he got the job, and he wanted the Packers job. That's the one he wanted. And Mike McCarthy got that job, and of course, he had interviewed for the Packers job, and then he was telling the story about you guys, talking about the Saints. Hey, you guys, and then he goes from saying talking in relation to, hey, the Saints. Then he found out, gets a text that, hey, McCarthy got the job, and it goes from them to we and us. He said, hey, I want to be part of that, and he kind of got that, and he came to a community in a region that was broken at a certain time, and just did great things from the get-go. Immediate success, an NFC championship, against the Bears. We got to respect them. So and what they did, and but just whether it be the Super Bowl, whether it be the suspension, different things, he's had opportunities, and who knows what he's going to do? Is he going to coach another team? Is he going to do? Who knows? I mean, it wouldn't surprise you, but just grateful for a guy that gave you. 12 years, how many years did he give us? 15, 16 years?
16 years, 15
seasons, 16 years. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, that's the, like, when if he goes into the Hall of Fame, he'll go in as a Saints coach. You know what I mean? Like that's what you've done. So for that, again, I always enjoyed him. I thought he was you get to watch him all the time, and you kind of see how he is, and you call him by his first name because you feel like, he wouldn't know me from Adam, but I just appreciate him. And I think he's been nothing but class, in so many different ways. I know he took the media out, and because he embraced the Louisiana culture and what it was. So I think he was a great fit, and, so they'll miss him. They'll miss him a lot. So.